What if I told you that the existence of Allah can be scientifically proven, that the Quran, revealed over 1400 years ago, contains knowledge that modern science has only recently discovered? Sounds impossible, right? But one man, Dr. Zakir Naik, did exactly that. Known for his deep understanding of Islamic philosophy and his ability to present complex ideas with logic and scientific backing, Dr. Naik has stunned skeptics, atheists, and religious scholars alike. But on one particular occasion, he did something extraordinary. He scientifically proved the existence of Allah in a way that left a Hindu priest completely speechless. A Hindu seeker named Sanjay Kumar stood before Dr. Naik with a bold challenge. "Prove to me scientifically that Allah exists, and I will accept Islam." What followed next was nothing short of astonishing. Using Quranic mysteries, prophecies and signs, and undeniable scientific facts, Dr. Zakir Naik dismantled every doubt, revealing the hidden truths that the world had overlooked for centuries. Did you know that the Quran described the Big Bang before scientists even theorized it? Did you know that the Quran revealed the Earth's true shape centuries before science confirmed it? And what about the moon's light? Was it really an original source or just a reflection? These were not mere coincidences. This was occult knowledge in Islam, a testament to the divine nature of the Quran, proving that no human mind could have written it. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to witness is a mysterious event explained through Islam, one that might just change the way you see faith, science, and the very nature of existence itself. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Veil of the Unseen. Many who watch these eye-opening videos aren't subscribed. Don't miss out on the deep revelations ahead. Now, let's dive into the incredible debate that shook a skeptic's belief system and led him to the undeniable truth. Dr. Zakir Naik, a scholar who challenges the skeptics. Dr. Zakir Naik is not just any Islamic preacher. He is a man of profound intellect, armed with the ability to bridge the gap between faith and science. Unlike many religious scholars who rely solely on scripture, Dr. Naik takes a unique approach. He engages with logic, reason, and scientific evidence, proving that Islam is not just a matter of belief. It is a faith built on undeniable truth. His ability to recall Quranic verses and scientific discoveries with precision has left audiences stunned time and time again. His journey began with a simple yet powerful mission: to clarify misunderstandings about Islam and to show that the Quran is not just a religious book, it is a miracle of knowledge, guidance, and prophecy. He has debated atheists, Hindus, Christians, and skeptics from all walks of life, presenting arguments that are not only compelling, but also impossible to refute. One of the most remarkable aspects of Dr. Naik's methodology is that he never asks his audience to blindly believe. Instead, he presents clear, rational evidence, scientific facts that align perfectly with the Quran, proving that this divine book contained knowledge centuries ahead of its time. His lectures have led countless people to rethink their beliefs, including scholars, religious leaders, and even those who once denied the existence of God. But in one particular encounter, Dr. Naik faced an unusual challenge. A Hindu seeker named Sanjay Kumar stepped forward, claiming that he would embrace Islam if Dr. Naik could scientifically prove that Allah exists. The room fell silent. All eyes were on Dr. Naik. Could he truly prove God's existence? Not through philosophy, but through science. What happened next shocked everyone in the audience. The challenge, a Hindu seeker's bold question. The air in the lecture hall was thick with anticipation. Hundreds sat in rapt attention, their eyes shifting between Dr. Zakir Naik and the man who had just stood up with an unexpected challenge. Sanjay Kumar was no ordinary attendee. His tone carried certainty, his posture unwavering. This wasn't just a question, this was a demand. "If you can scientifically prove that Allah exists, I will accept Islam today," he declared. The statement sent a ripple through the audience. Some gasped, others leaned forward in their seats, waiting for Dr. Naik's response. It wasn't every day that someone issued such a bold challenge, especially to a scholar who had spent years dismantling misconceptions about Islam with logic and precision. But Sanjay Kumar wasn't alone in his doubts. He wasn't a random skeptic looking for an argument. He revealed something even more profound. The question wasn't his. His neighbor, a staunch Brahmin Hindu, had planted the seed of doubt in his heart. This Brahmin had questioned God's existence, shaken by philosophical inquiries and modern scientific theories. If God was real, why couldn't his existence be proven like a mathematical formula or a scientific experiment? If Allah was the ultimate creator, where was the irrefutable proof? Sanji, though religious, found himself struggling with these questions. He had been raised in a faith that worshipped many deities, yet here he was, questioning the very foundation of belief itself. The weight of these uncertainties grew heavier, pressing against his soul. He wanted answers, not vague rhetoric, but truth grounded in evidence. And so he came here today, standing before one of the most renowned Islamic scholars, seeking clarity. He wanted a response that his mind could comprehend and his heart could accept. The room fell silent. All eyes were on Dr. Zakir Naik. He didn't flinch. He didn't hesitate. Instead, he did something that many weren't expecting. He smiled. There was no trace of frustration or intimidation on his face, just calm confidence, a man who knew exactly what to say. "Are you ready to listen with an open mind?" he asked, his voice steady. Sanji nodded, his curiosity piqued. "Because what I'm about to share with you is not just religious belief, it is scientific fact." The audience was on edge. What proof could he possibly give? What argument could shake Sanji's skepticism? Little did they know what Dr. Naik was about to reveal would leave them all in awe. Dr. Zakir Naik's response, science and the existence of Allah. Dr. Zakir Naik took a deep breath, his gaze steady as he looked directly at Sanji Kumar. He knew that the question at hand wasn't just about belief, it was about proof. The audience was waiting, some skeptical, others hopeful. And then, with a calm yet authoritative voice, he began. 1. The Big Bang Theory and the Quran. Sanji, let's start with the origin of the universe. Science tells us that the universe came into existence through the Big Bang, an event where matter, space, and time all began from a singularity and rapidly expanded into what we know today. This is one of the most widely accepted scientific explanations for creation. Sanji nodded. Yes, I've studied that, Doctor. Naik continued, but my question is, how could a book revealed 1400 years ago at a time when people thought the Earth was flat and the universe was eternal, describe this event so precisely? He paused for a moment and then recited, "Do not the unbelievers see that the heavens and the earth were joined together? Then we split them apart." Quran 21:30. The room fell silent. Sanji's eyes widened slightly. This verse from the Quran states that the heavens and the earth were once a single entity before being separated. Exactly what modern astrophysics describes as the Big Bang. How did an unlettered man in the desert in the 7th century have knowledge of this? Was it a lucky guess? Sanji didn't answer. He didn't need to. 2. The shape of the earth. A Quranic revelation. Dr. Naik moved to his next point. "Tell me, Sanji, what is the shape of the earth?" Sanji responded quickly. "It's round, of course. Everyone knows that." "But did everyone always know that?" Dr. Naik asked. "Because for centuries, people, including scholars, believed the earth was flat. It wasn't until the 17th century that modern science confirmed it was actually spherical." He paused, then recited another verse. "And we have made the earth egg-shaped." Quran 79:30. The original Arabic word used here is dahaha, which refers to an ostrich egg. If you observe an ostrich egg, it is not a perfect sphere. It is slightly flattened at the poles, just like the actual shape of the earth. The Quran stated this over 1,000 years before science discovered it. So tell me, how did Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, know this? Sanji remained silent. The logic was undeniable. 3. The moon's light, reflection, not emission, Doctor. Naik pressed on, knowing he had his audience hooked. "Now let's talk about the moon. For a long time, people believed that the moon had its own light source. Even early civilizations thought it emitted light, just like the sun." Sanji nodded again. But today science tells us otherwise. We now know that the moon does not generate its own light. It reflects the sun's light. He then recited, "Blessed is he who placed in the sky great stars and placed therein a burning lamp and a luminous moon." Quran 25:61. Notice how the Quran makes a distinction. It refers to the sun as a burning lamp, something that emits light, but the moon is described as a luminous body, something that does not produce light on its own, but reflects it. Another scientific fact confirmed in the Quran, long before it was discovered by modern science. 4. The atmosphere, Earth's protective shield. Dr. Naik took a step forward. One more question, Sanji. What protects Earth from cosmic radiation and harmful solar winds? Sanji thought for a moment. The atmosphere does. Exactly, Dr. Naik said. Now, imagine you're living 1400 years ago in the deserts of Arabia, with no telescopes, no satellites, no advanced knowledge of space. Could you possibly know that the sky above us is acting as a protective barrier? Sanji shook his head. No, it would be impossible. Doctor, Naik smiled and recited another verse, "And we made the sky a protective ceiling, but they turn away from its signs." Quran 21:32. He continued, "Scientists today acknowledge that the Earth's atmosphere protects us by blocking harmful cosmic rays, maintaining temperature, and preventing dangerous impacts from space debris. But this knowledge was only discovered recently." Now I ask you, Sanji, how did a man who couldn't read or write, who had no access to scientific research, mention all of these facts in a book revealed centuries before their discovery? The silence in the room was deafening. Sanji opened his mouth as if to speak, but then closed it. His mind was racing. Could all of this be coincidence, or was it something greater? Doctor. Naik took a deep breath and said, "The Quran contains over 1,000 verses related to science, many of which align perfectly with what modern research has confirmed. So tell me, Sanji, who could have revealed this knowledge?" The acceptance of Islam. Sanji Kumar sat there, visibly shaken. The weight of the discussion pressed down on him like a force he had never encountered before. He had spent his life believing in logic, science, and reason. Yet here he was, confronted with truths that defied explanation. Dr. Zakir Naik observed him carefully. This wasn't just about winning a debate. It wasn't about proving someone wrong. This was about truth, and Sanji was staring directly at it. The final question. Dr. Naik leaned forward and spoke with a calm yet firm voice. "Sanji, everything I have presented to you today, every scientific fact, every verse from the Quran, was written over 1,400 years ago. Science is only now catching up to what has already been revealed. So I ask you once again, who could have revealed this knowledge?" Sanji hesitated. His mind raced through possibilities, but every logical explanation collapsed under the sheer precision of the Quranic verses. "There is no way. No human could have written this," he finally whispered. "Doctor." Naik nodded. "Exactly. The Quran is the word of Allah, the Almighty, the creator of the heavens and the earth. No man, no scholar, no scientist could have produced such knowledge at that time. It is the divine revelation from the one who created all things." Sanji exhaled deeply, his thoughts unraveling. He had spent years rejecting the idea of divine truth, believing that science was enough. But now he saw the undeniable connection between faith and reason. He had come searching for an answer, and he had found it. A life-changing decision. Sanji's voice trembled as he asked, "What do I do now?" Dr. Naik smiled gently. "Sanji, if you now believe that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad, PBUH, is his messenger, then you are ready to accept Islam." Sanji sat in silence. He thought about his life, his beliefs, his journey. And then, with conviction in his voice, he spoke, "I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his final messenger." The room erupted in tears and takbir, Allahu Akbar. People rushed to congratulate him, embracing their new brother in faith. Sanji Kumar had entered Islam. A message to the viewers. Dr. Naik turned to the audience. His message wasn't just for Sanji. it was for everyone watching. How many people like Sanji live their lives rejecting faith, thinking that science alone holds all the answers? How many dismiss religion as outdated without ever looking at the evidence? But the truth is right in front of us. The Quran is filled with knowledge far beyond human capability, scientific truths, historical accuracies, and prophecies that have been fulfilled. Allah guides whom He wills, and today He has guided Sanji. Perhaps if you're watching this right now, this is a sign for you too. The final call to action. If you have ever doubted faith, if you have ever questioned the existence of Allah, take this moment to reflect. The Quran is not just a book, it is a miracle, and it is waiting for you to discover its truth. Now I ask you, have you ever questioned faith only to find signs that changed your perspective? Do you believe that science and religion can coexist? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your reflection might help someone else on their journey. If this video opened your eyes, don't forget to subscribe to the Veil of the Unseen. We uncover hidden truths, Quranic mysteries, and mysterious events explained through Islam. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Before you go, there's another video waiting for you, one that might change your life forever. Click the link on your screen now. May Allah guide us all to the truth. Assalamu alaikum.